Oh.
What does it present?
Presents
itself.
Yay!
Sony Computer Entertainment America presents itself.
Oh.
Happy New Year.
Well, with what we're about to do to it, I guess that's good.
Yeah, Nokia.
It's the C-pad. The C stands for Squaresoft.
It does.
It's a lowercase c.
There's a lot
with a Sadia.
With the Sadia.
Today
it
it's
actually
the
starts with a
F-pad.
Sadia.
It's
the double F
P-pad.
pad.
The final
Fantasy.
Philly-pad.
I like how this Final Fantasy logo has like a cool S in it, and then you never see it for the rest of the game.
Yeah, that's
It
anything,
literally
it
is just like somebody's tribal tattoo.
Yeah, and then it's gone.
It looks like the Ject symbol from 10. Like it looks like you cut it in half and went, yeah, here you go.
Yeah.
why that
Final
is.
Fantasy X. One
Doesn't this
day
shit-
I'll go back and play that. But I put
man.
so many hours
I don't know.
into it
What's
that
Cloud's second limit
my
break? Maybe it's
PlayStation
that.
got stolen.
Braver?
The S.
Braver and then
S
cross
sword.
slash.
S word.
Oh, maybe I'm thinking of cross slash.
Oh, yeah.
And
The
then-
one that it's in Smash Bros too. It's like the
Yeah.
Oh,
Braver,
man.
cross slash, then I think Clim Hazard.
Wait for it.
Clim
Waiting for the strings.
Yeah.
I
sorry,
can never
horns.
tell what
I can
was
never remember what
like
instrument's gonna
actually
be.
Every
supposed
version's
to be a
different.
word or what was just a horrible misspelling of something else in this game.
I like that these are horns or strings because it's neither
It's
of
a
those
little of
things.
both, actually.
Shintaro Taka. That sounds like a Mortal Kombat.
It sounds like an accordion.
Well, they use a lot of
Pass
English
Breath of the
Yeah.
Wild
porn in this
sitting here
game.
just squeeze
It
box.
does.
Don't
it does
you
sound
criticize
like that.
Nobuyamatsu.
All right. We should
We're just
start.
here on the D-pad, squeeze boxing some Final Fantasy VII. No big deal.
Squeeze box.
And
The
I'm
squeeze box
John.
is my favorite instrument. God
Oh my
damn
god.
it!
New game.
Why did
Continue?
it?
There shouldn't
Wait,
be
what?
anything. There shouldn't be anything for
There'll be
continue.
nothing
We're doing,
there.
This
It's
is. I mean, this is.
It always
There
does
shouldn't
that.
be
It
anything
takes a
there.
second
Ghost.
to continue.
Spooky.
Yeah, check
But
the
well,
ghost
I know.
one. Okay.
I'll
Check the
just-
ghost
It
one.
knows that you played Final Fantasy VII Remake.
No,
I did
there's
twice,
nothing.
and I'm
There we
about
go.
to play it again. Long story.
Yeah, there's
The
nothing.
remake, demake. But yeah, so
I
this
just was hoping we
is
found
Oh, I
the
got
bend
you.
round of
our
Final
final
Fantasy.
episode
Ben's right here.
of PlayStation Classic.
Be cool.
What'd you say?
Oh,
I said I was hoping we found the bend round
It's
of Final
space.
Fantasy.
We're like
Ah.
the secret save slot. Yeah.
well, so I'm
I'm a
Rick.
very good
I'm John.
swimmer.
I'm Felice.
I'm Ben.
I'm Cloud.
And
this is- oh, nice, yeah.
Space Mountain.
Cloudy
It does
Jaguar.
kind of have a face to it there. I saw the face in the stars there.
I said Space Mountain.
Oh, they said Face Mountain. I'm like,
No,
oh,
Yeah,
I see this little
famous
face
amusement
moving.
park ride, Face
I want to
Mountain.
ride Face Mountain.
Oh,
And
man.
that's gonna be
That's
our
how
Me
I'm
after the recording.
This
This
is-
is
maybe
that's gonna be our
tonight when
name
we
for
get
Cloud.
home.
We'll name Cloud Face
Face
Mountain.
Mountain.
This is Final Fantasy VII.
As part of the PlayStation Classic
Yeah,
here
the
on the
final-
D-pad.
the 20th of 20 for
Yeah.
Wow.
2020.
We
You've
kept
done
it
all
Now the
final
2020
because
is
final.
dead. 2020
Okay, now
is
she's got the same
behind us.
hairstyle as Sephiroth.
And
she
Rick.
looks so green
That's
on
the
the,
secret.
TV screen.
That's the secret. They got the same haircut. That's why
Yes.
she. That's why she.
This
needs
is my
to
new
change
fucking
her haircut.
Yeah, no spoilers,
This is Aerith
guys.
and Sephiroth, they all got the
I
same
guess that's
fucking
true,
haircuts
right?
as me.
Oh man.
I mean, we've canonically done Final Fantasy
Yeah,
VII
yeah.
Remake
Final Fantasy
on the
VII.
channel.
It's also. It's
Tifa's
also a
Bar.
very well-known game at this point.
We're gonna be
Loveless.
doing
Goblin's Bar.
potion bombs. Potion bombs.
Oh, Loveless
Fucking
from
potion
Wild
bombs.
Wild West is in here.
Potion bombs.
I'll take some potion bombs.
Fucking potion bombs.
So like a bath bomb, you just stick it in your potion.
Yeah,
like
but
a Jaeger
like,
bomb.
do you remember?
It is
like
like a Jaeger bomb.
Do you remember 1997 and you like started this game for the first
And
time?
you literally
this was
shit
fucking
yourself?
dope
It's
as
like,
hell.
what
People were like, did
fuck?
they release a Final Fantasy game
It's-
every year in the 90s?
Not to mention, did
like
you ever
well-directed, too.
Did you guys see the beta footage of what like their tech demo early into development for 7 looked
when
like?
when it was still being developed for the N64.
Yeah, it looked bad.
Yeah.
But granted, early 3D, like what are
Right,
you gonna
right.
do? But like seeing this in motion, you're just like, whoa, what?
Yeah.
Not
Well,
to
and
mention
then you
this-
realize
the transition
none of it's
here is
real,
so
and
smooth.
it's a JPEG now. there
But,
it
like,
is.
Everyone's so goddamn cute in this
But-
game, though. I
It's
can't
true.
take any of the sad parts seriously.
I love that transition though. It's
We're terrorists.
And here are your favorite Star Wars
with hearts
characters:
of gold.
Biggs,
Yeah.
Wedge, and Jesse.
oh,
All right.
You know,
Come on, newcomer.
Look
you
at
know,
those shoulders.
come on, newly
there's
newcomer.
they should have translated this as rookie. Just come on.
Yeah, there's definitely some like stuff where it's just like newcomer. No one ever just calls
Oh,
someone "Hey, what's up,
God.
newcomer."
You can run.
I-
There you go.
I mean,
No,
we're not going to get
there's
to the
no
battle
stick.
square, but
It's-
the battle
oh.
square is notorious. for
Oh,
some
isn't that
fucking
weird?
hard
Using
It's
just
real weird going
directional
back
the
to-
G-pad.
But now I am in 1996, and I've always used the D-pad.
Oh,
Ex-soldier.
Why is he still fighting?
No, that's you. You're the ex-soldier. You used to be in soldier.
Yeah. Out of context, you're like, what the fuck?
Wow.
Yeah.
Once upon a time was in soldier.
John, I should just name him ex-soldier.
I thought about that.
Oh,
I don't know how
jeez.
many characters they give you.
Ex
I
Machina.
think they give you
Terrible.
like 7.
Dude,
Damn, this game
Yeah.
loves the number 7 if you only get 7 characters
Yeah.
to name.
No,
Like,
don't
George
do
was
seven.
pretty
You also
good,
have 7
though.
party members, don't you?
7
more than
party
7.
members.
Yeah.
The meteor crashes in
Oh
7
yeah, I forgot about
days.
the money called
Th-
Gil.
There's like a
Yeah.
whole bunch of them.
There's like 9 characters, I think. We got
What?
Cloud, Barrett, Tifa, Aerith, Red 13,
Yep.
Spoilers.
Vincent, Kate
Vincent.
Sith.
Vincent,
Yuffie, Kate
Yuffie,
Sith.
Kate
Yuffie,
Sith,
yep.
Sid.
Sid,
That's 9.
right.
Oh, the 2 of them
Yeah.
are optional though, so you
2
could
of them
get
are
to the
optional,
game.
so-
So.
Wow.
Which is
you
kind
used
of
to
a
be
stretch,
soldier,
yeah.
all right.
it actually is 7. But who doesn't want Yuffie and
Aren't
Vincent?
Aren't they enemy?
A lot of people think I'm joking, but they are actually my favorite too.
Who
I love
are?
that
He
I love
was
that-
in Soldier.
Who are your favorites, Siege?
Yuffie and Vincent.
the best
Oh, yeah.
thing about the 90s and the 2000s were that every organization was an acronym and had to be in capital letters.
So I don't know.
Okay, what do you call
No
him? this
particular
guy?
reason, but what if we
COEOT.
named him Zach? I always like that name.
Zach?
Oh,
Good
okay.
idea, but let's try another one. Let's see. Would my first idea actually fit?
You got
John?
You got
What is your
9
first
letters, so
idea?
yes.
Yes.
Yes!
Oh god.
All right.
You don't want to do all caps? Pikachu!
Oh god.
That's actually
okay,
how I
okay.
still. That's
You're
how
not
I
gonna
still.
name him Zippy Zap
That's how I still name all of my Pokemon now. Even though now you
with all
can
caps.
do not all caps.
You still name them as.
It's
all
too
my
bad-
Pokemon get named in all
It's too
caps.
bad there's no
Should name him
like,
Gary.
exclamation point.
Gary Oak.
Oh yeah.
There's
They give you a semicolon for some.
yeah, but
fucking
no
reason.
put a
exclamation point.
Oh, you can't do a smiley face. That
Yeah,
sucks.
no.
Does anyone have any better
Wait,
suggestions
put
than
a
this?
put a C.
Oh, put a P. Put a P.
Put a C.
Pikachu?
No, put a C
Lo-
and then put the dot dot. The
Or
Wait,
lowercase p.
what
so
if I
it's a
make
tongue
him
sticking out.
X Pikachu?
oh.
Oh, man.
Pikachu.
You could do like the letter X dash Pikachu.
Like
it's like
the way he's
Kingdom Hearts.
ex-soldier,
Yeah.
you
It's
like
know?
Kingdom
I
Hearts.
don't
Call
think you
him
have
like
enough.
Doklux or something. He's his own. He's his own
Oh,
nobody.
you could do okay.
Ex
Do it that way.
Pikachu.
Clodux.
So
Clodagh.
get ready for about 45, 50
Lux
minutes of
over.
us naming Cloud.
Yeah, right.
I like Ex Pikachu.
Oh my god.
Yeah, we can come on. This is fun, but we can do better. We're gonna live this,
Okay,
live this
alright,
for the whole game.
Well, okay. Do you want to go with any kind of theme for like?
You're overthinking it.
Well, no. I'm trying to help.
Yeah.
If you
that's
say
true.
be funny, it's like, well, I don't know. If you say be funny, make it about dogs, then it's like, okay, I
Okay,
can
now
start
I
from
can-
something.
What
Kefka.
if we name?
An
I love it.
inspiration, yeah.
I love it. What if we name everyone a type of food?
I feel like
Okay.
you did that
Oh,
for
that's
Pokemon.
literally what you do in all your Pokemon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not very original, I
Yeah.
guess.
But I do really like food items as names for people.
Name
Oh,
him
upside down pineapple cake. Perfect.
Buttered noodles.
He does kind of look like a pineapple.
He does look a little pineapple.
All right.
Name him Darth Vader.
So is this the part where I'm contractually
Yeah, I'm loving
obligated
your
to talk
villains
about
here.
how pineapple and ananas
I
came
wouldn't
from?
do all caps for pineapple, but
Ooh, let's call him Anana.
Then he can be pineapple friend. Oh, Jeff would love that.
All right, the next idea will be the one we go with.
There's a character that we've either alternately called Pineapple Friend or Dog Street in Kingdom Hearts 2 because he wears a shirt that says Dog Street on it, but his head looks like a pineapple.
Name him
Dog
shirt-
Street is a
From
reference
the
to
bouncer.
another. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a weird one that I had.
I forget which one came
Yeah.
first between that and Kingdom Hearts because the main characters look very similar.
I'm
God.
Sephiroth.
Name him Pumpkin Pie.
So we're not keeping Sephiroth?
I kind of love it. Ah.
Oh
What are we calling
god.
him? What are we calling him?
I don't know.
What's
hairspray.
how do you say cloud in
Wait,
any
how
other
about
language?
Kumo.
Sepher
That's
hyphen
what I
Kumo.
wanna know.
off?
What's that?
Sepher hyphen off.
No! Oh, shit.
Oh no, John!
I swear to God that was an accident.
Oh no.
Well, we named him Sephiroth.
I'm really sorry. We can start over if you want.
No, well, it's too
I
late.
swear
No,
to God
it's
that was
in.
not intentional.
This is some Fesesga grade like
You can't. I was trying to like go do back, but
Yeah.
you just it selects it.
Sephiron.
Oh no.
Let's name Barrett Sephiron.
We may. I'm really sorry.
I cannot
I wanted
believe
it to
that
be
just
fun,
happened.
but not annoying for Oh well. All right.
Oh no.
So sorry, everyone. I don't
care what your names
are.
Oh.
And
Care
we
what
didn't,
Star Wars
and we
characters
didn't care
you
what
named
his name
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
Truly, you hurt
Dancing's
people, hurt
forbidden
people.
here in the town of Midgar.
I feel bad now.
Oh man.
Don't trust you.
Hey, my name is Sephiroth.
All right, then. So
Sephiroth.
I have to be very careful because the buttons are reversed. Because it is a PlayStation controller, but the original version of this had circle as confirm. So the buttons are reversed because it's usually X is confirm, which it was a second ago. So I have to be very careful.
But in my brain, X is always back and circle is always confirmed.
Man.
That's how I learned it.
Gutsman.
Well, you probably just shouldn't
Guns
hover
man.
over the select option when.
Yeah. Jesus. Oh no. Oh God. Oh Jesus Christ.
So
Actually,
So who gets to be Klauf?
name him Barrett, like a hair Barrett.
beret.
Raspberry Beret. Rasp Beret.
Just raspberry.
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 Yeah, raspberry. I like it.
okay, I will.
Oh my
Wait,
God.
raspberry or raspberry?
Raspberry. Like
I had to
actual-
resist the urge to just hit
Raspberry.
select and be like, oh no, my fingers slipped.
Just name him R.
He can be R in our hearts.
Raspberry.
R in our hearts.
Raffy.
Raspberry, I think.
Can we talk about? All right, this is gonna probably
Yeah,
get
I
a
love
lot of people pissed
raspberry.
off in the comments, but I gotta say it.
Ours.
Two things back to back. One,
I
it's
wish that
Aerith,
cloud was
not
pi-
Aerith.
pi-
Aerith is dumb.
Yes, correct.
Thing one.
Agreed.
Thing two.
It's Aerith.
Everyone's like, oh, but it's mistransliterated from the blah blah blah. It's like, but we have Aeris and Sephiroth with the TH. They got Sephiroth right, but apparently they got Aeris
Are
wrong.
we cool with raspberry?
I love raspberry.
Yeah,
Okay.
raspberry for this
Raspberry,
guy
there we
is
go.
really giving me joy.
It didn't occur
Oh wow!
to me.
Thanks
to,
for the advice, raspberry.
I love that. Push the
Earlier
cancel
marked
button to
X.
run.
What the
Earlier,
fuck?
wait, earlier marked X?
I
Yeah,
just think it's
as
dumb
in before,
translation shit.
it was marked X. Now it's marked cancel.
Why?
This is maybe a port of the PC version. I
I
don't know.
think
Who
it was
knows?
supposed to be an anagram of I Earth. This is what I heard at one point. I don't know if that's true.
I've heard some of that, or heart too.
But she's the heiress to the planet. It makes more sense even when you do it right.
Even when you do it right.
I just think Eris sounds better in like.
Well, I'm gonna call her Aerith. Actually,
I'm really
gonna call her
sorry.
whatever we name her, but
I
I'm gonna call her
swear.
Aeris.
I
just
still know what
can't.
you're
you
talking
can't do that.
about, but
I
I'm
love
gonna call her
this.
Eris.
so when you play Final Fantasy VI, do you call them Vix instead of Biggs?
Tentacle.
You don't get to
I
name
call
him.
him whatever's on the screen. So
Yeah.
Even though you know in your heart that it's Biggs.
Well, yes, I didn't know that for a long time, but then once I found out about that, I was like, oh, that makes
What?
sense.
Yeah, I knew Final Fantasy VI before I knew obscure Star Wars characters. You know?
Every Final Fantasy game has two characters. Well, not everyone, but most of them have two characters named Biggs and Wedge, named after Luke Skywalker's friends. From
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Red
Yeah.
Squadron,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yep. And that's the
And
studio
Jesse,
drew
his
Biggs
other
and
Yeah,
Wedge.
yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah,
little,
Jesse is.
little known fact: in most Final Fantasy games, there is a Cid.
Look at this
Yeah.
guy
Yeah.
with the facts here.
Not
Whoa.
many people know that.
But that's just a theory.
There's also things called Moogles and Chocobos. which
Concentrate on the
frequently
mission,
appear.
Sephiroth.
There's no Moogles
Yeah.
in this game, though. There's just a plush.
There are kind of Moogles in this game.
No, there's Kate Sith. That's it, and it's a toy.
Nope, there is a Moogle.
I think
Where?
there's some in the Gold Saucer.
You
aren't
can
there?
summon one, and there's like one in the Gold Saucer area. That's technically a video game, but it's a Moogle. A normal Moogle, not a Kate Sith looking one.
Where's there one?
And before you start yelling at us, yeah, we know it's Ketchi, but again,
Yeah.
that's also dumb.
It's what?
So-
Ketchi, I think, is
Ketchi.
the
It's
technical.
the Scotch Gaelic is
Gaelic,
Ketchi,
yeah.
but you know what? Who the fuck? Oh, I didn't
what
even
is
see
it?
that thing.
That thing is tiny and dark.
I feel like that one's different because it's still spelled the same. We're just bastardizing the pronunciation.
Yeah.
Whereas
Yes.
Eris and Aerith are two different
Yes,
spellings.
that's
true.
So
Uh,
if you
But I'm still gonna call him
Similar to
Kate
the
Sith.
Vixen
Yeah.
Biggs thing, there's also oh god, I'm gonna get it wrong. I can never get the pronunciation right, but I think it's Volvagia from
Oh.
Ocarina
Yeah.
of Time.
Yeah.
That's not the first time they showed up in Zelda, because in Zelda 2, there's a fire dragon that's called like
Barubagia.
yeah, Barobagia, which is just they're the
Yeah.
same
Yeah.
thing. They're just got transliterated
Yeah,
differently.
let's just cut back to our
Sephiroth
Zelda
and
2
Raspberry.
playthrough. I think
I think we talked about it
We
then.
talked about it.
Yeah.
And John was in Disney.
Can't
There's
believe you
also
named
in
him
Final,
Sephiroth.
earlier in Final
didn't
Fantasy.
mean to.
and not pineapple.
I do really want someone to be Sephiroth.
In
though.
some version
It'll
of
happen.
I'm like,
We'll make Sid like one of the dumb ones.
Yeah.
in one of the versions
Hey.
of I think it's
I
Final
love
Fantasy
Sid.
1. Which one had
I love Sid,
Barbaricia? Is that 1 or 4?
That's 4. I think it's one
I
of
haven't
the.
played any
It's one of the
Four,
four
It's like with
Sentinels
Cagnazzo
or whatever.
and Rubicon. It's
yeah,
the 4
the
Sinistrals, not
Italian
Sinistrals, the bad dudes.
yeah.
Fiends.
You know why I don't care
Sentinels
if
or
it's Kate Sith or Cat She? It's because I just call him Reeves.
Spoilers!
What do you mean spoilers?
It's a
I call everyone Reeves.
23-year-old game, right?
I'm just gonna keep doing that though.
Yeah.
You know.
And I want to say the original version of Final Fantasy IV, or like some ports or whatever, it gets called like Valvalis or something
Okay.
instead of Barbaricia, just because they didn't have enough characters for it. But then like in every port afterwards, they went with the full name.
Is there like my gamer sense was tingling, and I was like,
a hallway. No one's telling me to go
Yeah.
down. Don't mind if I do.
What did they name him in Hyrule Warriors?
Who, Link?
Volvagia.
No, Volvagia.
It's like a variation,
Volga.
right?
Yeah.
That's not the same character though, right?
No, it is.
It's inspired by it, nothing else. It may be literally that timeline or dimensions version of Volvagia.
I mean, it's a
Volvagia. I don't know
non-canon
which
game
one it is.
anyway. So.
Yeah, that's the weirdest thing to me. Hyrule Warriors is a non-canon Zelda game, but its sequel ? At least spiritual successor is a canon game.
Oh.
Sort of, but it's also
Yeah.
time travel, so it's also sort of not.
I just want to point out that a lot of people didn't notice Jessie was a female until she came out in the remake and was really hot.
Oh, really?
Yep. Everyone
I
thinks
feel
Jessie
like-
here is a guy.
I feel like
mean-
the hair
Like,
would
lots
be
of
the
people
first
thought,
thing to...
Yeah, but look at fucking Cloud's hair.
Yeah,
True,
I
Cloud's hair.
thought Jesse. I don't know. I guess I kind of.
And it's even spelled
But his
as like
is
the
spiky.
gender neutral /
I
more
mean,
common
obviously
male
not that
name.
this matters, but Jessie does come onto Cloud for most of the opening sequence. I mean,
Yeah.
after this mission, but
Yeah.
Well, she's like flirtatious with him.
Only slightly though.
Yeah.
It's a lot more dumbed down in this one.
I'm not
hang
gonna
on.
say that
really
a
good
guy
if you guys
couldn't
haven't
be
played it.
flirtatious either, but like this is 1997.
I know this is 1997.
So-
Ra-
Women
which
didn't
of-
know how to flirt back then. It's true.
Which of Raspberry's arms is a gun again?
yeah, both of
Which
them.
of raspberries
Is it both of them? He doesn't have hands? No, he's got a hand.
No, he
got
has
one
no
hand.
hands.
Well, no, you have to. You
That's
gotta
why-
get the hand upgrade.
That's why he gave up his daughter. He
Raspberry.
couldn't hold his daughter.
Because he can take his.
Oh, there, he's got a left hand.
I regret nothing.
Because he did the little shake thing, but I think he did the shake thing with his gun hand.
Yeah.
So it was like, how do you clench a gun?
He clenches his whole arm muscle.
You just hear a bunch of like clicking sounds inside of the gun, like as he shakes it a bunch.
Can you
God,
get a
do you have, like,
chainsaw
a-
hand in this game?
What's that?
No, I
That was
don't.
easy. Is that
what he
Probably.
gets?
You can get like a weird scissor thing.
They
Yeah,
all
I remember.
get,
Maybe that's what I'm thinking.
they
of.
all
Yeah.
get one like kind
Goofy
of
weapon.
joke weapon.
Sid gets a
quote unquote.
gets a bat.
He gets a mop.
Oh, he gets the mop. That's right.
Cloud
yeah.
gets
Cloud
nail
gets
bat.
the spike. Yeah,
Yeah,
nail
you
bat.
think it's a
Yep.
kite.
Aerith gets an umbrella, I think.
See if he doesn't get shit because
She
just
gets
has
like
gloves.
Yeah, she gets like boxing gloves.
Was
she gets a
Seven-
push-up bra, which
Was
is
Seven
ironic.
the first game to have like just entirely obscure super weapons for characters? Like
Probably
you had to go
not.
do
Like the final
quests and
weapons?
things. Yeah,
Which one?
this one 7.
I think
No,
this is
I
the
think
first one that
6 probably
might have
did, too.
It might be-
character-specific weapons.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess that's true.
I think 6 you can equip anybody with anything.
No, you could equip. They were like almost like classes.
Yeah.
Like Terra could use
Yeah.
sabers and knives.
But it
Locke
wasn't-
could use knives only.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. That,
You know,
okay.
like-
But then
I
it
remember that.
wouldn't be like all knives are for Locke and all sabers are for.
There were a couple
Setzer
of
could
like
use playing cards
character-specific
and, like, that
ones,
was
like
it.
yeah, like
That's
yeah.
true. That's
although Go-Go
All
could
right,
use
man.
anything, so technically
Go-Go's not a real
there
character.
we go.
Go-Go's as real as you and me.
The classic pair, Sephiroth and Raspberry.
You know what? It was an accident, I swear to God.
Name a-
But this is pretty fucking
Name
funny.
a more iconic duo.
Sephiroth.
Oh, my God. I'm very
And that's-
happy with these
oh
choices.
my God! And not to spoilers, but he kind of is like Sephiroth. You know,
Yeah.
like
Yeah, you know.
That's why I
the
wanted
goal
to
was to make another
That's why I
Sephiroth,
wanted
and they
to
got
name
this
him
guy
Zack.
instead. You
He's
know?
a little Sephiroth.
A little Sephiroth.
Okay, so this guy has guns for both hands.
Barm
Oh
gun.
my
yeah.
gosh!
Yeah.
He kind of looks like Greninja.
a little bit.
Like if Greninja
yeah.
and Mega Man had a baby, and then it was
John,
made of.
Don't
pixels.
forget to put Barrett in
You
the
know
back
who he reminds
row.
me of?
Thanks,
from
Game
Metal Gear
Dad.
Solid.
He's
Cyborg
right
Ninja.
though.
Yeah. He's got like the same like visor thing
Yeah,
and everything.
Because he's a ranged character and doesn't do reduced damage, but they'll do reduced damage to him. when they do melee.
more!
Yes. Thank you. I knew all that, but I knew you were telling that for the
God
audience.
Yeah.
damn.
So doesn't that look like a door right there?
It does. It always
does.
bothers me. It is a door in a different reactor with the same layout too.
What?
Is it?
Really?
I think so.
Oh, and then you get back attacked. Oh man.
Their
So,
stance is kind
way
of
to
like
go, Ben.
Yeah.
friendly cowboys.
What?
How many
Friendly
friendly
cowboys.
cowboys you hanging out with?
No, so there's this move that I used to do in my exercise classes that I was
actually
trying to
friendly
like
cowboys.
figure out a name for it,
Yeah.
and CJ called it a friendly cowboy, and that's what I started calling it. And that's like
Nice.
what the name of that move was in my class.
CJ, you're the
Oh my
best.
god.
I know.
Look at how big fucking Barrett's feet are. Jesus
CJ,
Christ.
remember 20 years ago when we were
Raspberry
writing our
feet.
Final
Sorry,
Fantasy
you got
VII
big
fan
feet.
fiction?
You got a big barrel.
No, I remember Pokemon.
He installed it specifically to like.
Didn't
be
you have, like-
I remember you
proportionally
started your
sized to make
character out with an
sense.
Articuno.
You got big feet. You
No,
And I was
big
like, okay, I
shoes.
Yeah.
can't write this
Yeah.
with you anymore.
Shut up. It was a
Who
baby
builds
Articuno.
pipes this size?
There's supposed to be one Articuno. There's Uno in the name.
We all know there's lots of
His
Articunos.
name is not Artidos.
Then there's not 2 Zapdos.
Yes, there are.
What?
3
Fuck-
Moltres.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
That's funny.
When you put them together, they become Mewtwo. Sorry, Mecha Mewtwo.
shouldn't it be like Mew 6?
When we blow this
Whoa, we're
place,
gonna
ain't
blow
gonna be
this
nothing
place.
more than a hunk of junk. Sephiroth, you set the bomb.
Somebody set up us
Okay,
the bomb.
Raspberry.
It's so is it jarring to anyone else to be doing an RPG where the main character talks? Because like for some reason in my head I'm like, all right, well whatever. Oh my god, he had lines. Like I'm so used to RPGs where your character doesn't actually speak.
Other than
Like
Chrono
words.
Trigger, every RPG we've done on the channel,
Super
has
Mario
not been
RPG,
like
Persona
Okay.
games.
that. Persona
Chrono
doesn't speak
Trigger.
at all. I never played
No.
Persona.
I mean,
but-
Cloud doesn't talk much.
But all the Final Fantasies they talk. You know.
I guess so. I mean, more so
I guess that
nowadays now
fact
that
you
there's
said is
voice
true.
acting and stuff, but like
can we figure out how to play
Here they come.
the Turks game?
One.
oh no, it's
I-
them.
oh,
they
fuck,
were so
I should've
loud they
healed.
are one.
They're all here.
Can we figure out how to play the Turks game for the Japanese cell phone?
There is a
Oh,
way.
the cell
Somebody
phone.
basically rebuilt it for an emulator.
Nice.
It-
What was it called? It's not Crisis Core. It's not before Crisis.
Don't talk.
Dirge of Cerberus?
No,
It's not Dirge of
No,
Cerberus.
Dirge of Cerberus is Vincent,
Fuck.
I think.
Yeah.
I should know
Crisis
this.
Core is Zack.
I can't remember.
Oh, maybe it is before Crisis.
It might be before Crisis.
Was that the phone game? Yeah, maybe it is. Yeah.
Wasn't there?
There's
there was-
Crisis Core, which is
So there
Zack.
was there was an AC for Advent Children. BC was before Crisis. CC was Crisis Core. DC is Dirge of Cerberus. Was there? I thought there was an EC also.
Oh, did they do that on purpose?
I don't know. They
must
must
have.
have, right? That's way.
That's
too
awesome.
Weird.
I never put that together though.
It's way too weird to have not done on purpose.
None of these to be confused with Final Crisis, the DC story.
Final
God.
Final Fantasy Final Crisis.
Did you not put Cure on Raspberry? Oh my god.
I just picked up that materia. I didn't think this fight was yet. Was that
John.
words?
Yeah, why not?
Well, it's not like I'm. It'll be fine, guys.
Yeah.
This is basically a button the
What
battle.
was I just gonna
This
say?
is
Shit.
not very optimal.
He's actually pretty fucking hard in the remake though, because you don't know how combat works when you face him.
What the hell
And
were-
it's pretty involved.
I put
Yeah.
I put
Did
them
you
on.
play it or just watch some?
I played like the beginning.
Cool.
Oh, never mind. I just remembered. I was like, "Fuck!" I put a thing on Twitter, and then I told you, and then you said that you had basically the literal exact same idea. I was like, "Man!" So Final Fantasy VII, knowing what little I do know, which is just enough to be able to theorize in the first place. Like, all right, so
You don't want to
Oh,
attack
fuck.
when
Sorry, I'm trying to listen to Rick, and I missed that he
there's
put it up. I'm
Final
dead.
Fantasy VII remake. It's like, oh, if they're doing this in 3 parts, then
He also
they
takes less
totally need to
damage.
make Part 2 Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and 3 is Final Fantasy VII Reunion. And I think you had said that, like, yup, that was the exact same team.
I'd
you came
actually
up with.
already said that in the
Did you really?
in the game.
That's hilarious. Because so
What if they did it in 4 parts and they could call it Final Fantasy Life, and then Death, and then
restarted
Synthesis?
would be the 4th one. I hadn't actually been watching your videos because I was trying specifically not to, because at some point I want to
Yeah.
play the remake myself, and I didn't want to. I wanted to spoil as little as I possibly could, and I think I've successfully. I remember nothing from what I saw of that.
I haven't played it, but I think it ends after you get out of Midgar. So I feel like
I
there's
think
going to
it's
be more
like-
than 3 chapters.
Well, there's 3 like
Be at least 3.
yeah.
At least 3.
From the sound of it, they were aiming for 3. It might just be that like the idea being each one's just gonna get bigger since both they'll have the existing engine and they'll be on newer.
That could be it.
I
platforms,
think they're
too.
also planning to work in the side games like Crisis Core and
Maybe,
all that.
yeah.
And there's already stuff in this version that wasn't in the other versions, and
Yeah.
threads that are working a little differently than they have in the past. We'll say, so it could be. We don't really know what to expect.
Final Fantasy VII Reconvene.
Because as it is, part 1 seems like it's just like half of the first disc, and this was a 3-disc game.
Correct.
That's the thing is like how many episodes could they possibly make of a single game?
7.
I mean, that I was thinking
Well,
it. I wasn't gonna say it, but
It's no longer a single game. You know what I mean? Oh, you can't equip materia yet.
well, it's now a series, but it's still taking one game and like
Really?
it's like
You can't. Yeah.
raising it to the
You gotta
power
wait till
of
somebody
itself.
tells you.
Yeah.
I could have sworn I was able to put Kieran Bear before, but maybe not.
All right, we got our. I love that.
But anyway,
like, clock style
so I was
too.
thinking, like, what the hell was SquareSoft thinking when
What?
What?
um
Give it a second. Give it a second. Here you go.
Jeez. Wow, they really went for that authentic feel,
Jesus
huh?
Christ. 'Cause I was like,
I
wait,
remember that
continue
from the
thing
original,
took a
actually.
second, too.
Yeah, that was. What was SquareSoft thinking when they know that the entire Western audience just has a huge boner for the Turks, and they're like, we're gonna only release the Turks game in Japan.
Do they know
give
that?
America all these other shitty games that no
I
one
don't
wants to
care
play.
too much about the Turks, but I do really like their theme song.
They were like the one thing people universally liked out of Advent Children. Was like, oh, the Turks were awesome.
I didn't universally like anything out of Advent Children.
Yeah, most of it was
Sephiroth.
terrible.
I watched.
It was
I watched
neat,
it. I watched
but-
the sub version, and I liked it. I never watched the dub.
I don't remember which version I watched.
But,
The only two things I can remember that I liked, aside from just generally the Turks, I do like the Turks.
Yeah, I read a lot of fan fiction, like John was saying, and almost every
Yeah.
single one was centered around Reno. So.
Because they're so cool.
Yeah.
They're so cool.
They're way cooler in the remake. Holy shit.
The when Tifa fights
This is painful.
whoever in the church, and and she wins the battle, and you hear the little, and that's just her ringtone on her phone. It's like, it's kind of cute.
In what?
In Advent Children.
Oh, I don't
she has like a throwdown in the church, and
Oh,
wins. And right after she wins, her phone goes off, and it's the Final Fantasy VII like victory fanfare.
My leg is stuck. Thanks. Oh yeah, she's real thirsty.
And then she
Thanks.
jumps over you and runs away.
It makes you
Fucking
wonder
see
if
you
the Turks
later.
actually have like their bass part as like their theme song, and they actually just walk around snapping.
That'd be awesome. They just walk around like the fucking
They do
Jets.
snap like a
A
lot.
lot, yeah.
The other one being, is it Rufus, who's in the wheelchair
In the
Advent
movie,
Children?
yeah.
Yeah. Where like he spends the whole time in the wheelchair and then gets threatened by whoever, I don't know that character's name, the baby Sephiroth or whatever.
Baby Roth.
Oh yeah,
Sure.
Yazoo, Kaz.
Okay.
That's when they started mixing their Kingdom Hearts into my Final Fantasy, and I was like, eh.
Well, so like they go up
Nomura's
and like
drunk
threaten
with
him,
power.
and he's just like sitting up there, and he's like, "Yeah, but I got something you don't have." And they're like, "What?" And he pulls off the sheet, and he's just been faking paralysis the entire time, and he's got Genova's head in a jar between his legs, and he jumps out the window, and it's like, "Whoa,
Who
fuck."
did Rufus did that?
Yeah.
Also,
It was a legitimately super badass.
I don't
moment
remember
in
that at all.
movie.
Super Tower
I thought it was
collapsed
really
on him, and
goofy.
he's fine.
Yeah. I think that's why they went with that. Is like it would be totally believable that his legs got super fucked up in
But
the
like,
accident.
why was he pretending to be crippled for the whole thing?
Because he didn't know where to put Genova's head otherwise.
well,
I'm just like,
that.
It was
Also
heavy.
just
He
as a
wanted someone to
misdirect.
push him in the wheelchair.
Like it's a useful misdirect
Yeah.
to do that and be like, give people, this false impression of you as like, as being wheelchair bound.
I
And he's
guess.
just like, nope, fuck you, woo.
I do hope in the remake at some point they add a battle with Sang at some point, because I always thought that was an awkward omission.
Which one is Sam?
He's the one
he's
with
the
the
leader.
dark hair and the glasses.
Long dark
and the-
hair and the bindi
Yeah.
for some reason.
and he's got
Oh,
like,
Sang. Yeah.
he's kind of got like a conscious as compared to the other ones.
He's in there.
No, he's like the coldest one.
Was he?
I think
I thought he was kind of cool to you guys.
Lane is the only one who really
No,
seems to have any
Reeve
sort of
is
conscience.
the one who has the conscience.
Well, I know. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
I know. Yeah.
I think Sang is kind of a dick.
Oh, okay.
Sang's a dick, Reno's a drunk, Rue doesn't talk, and Elena shouldn't be there.
She's just like a fun intern,
Yeah.
trying real hard.
Oh man,
We did it. We made it out of the
Quit
reactor
getting hurt.
core.
Jesse's just like, I'm just gonna stay here. It's fine.
Vap.
That's a fast explosion too.
Okay, now we're officially terrorists. So go us.
Yes.
Da 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 da. Thousands died.
Congratulations, we are now eco-terrorist with a body count.
But
I'm
like,
an ego terrorist.
look at
True.
look at Star Wars. Like,
Oh my god.
in
Silence for
Star
the
Wars,
whole
the
episode.
protagonists
And
are
then
terrorists.
Oh, they
basically.
absolutely, yeah.
You know?
They're fighting.
Perfect.
They're fighting the
I liked it,
tyrannical
though.
government
It's great.
of the galaxy.
Yeah.
I never really thought. I've always been kind of curious about this. Where like Star Wars makes it feel like the Empire is the ruling thing of everything. But at the same time, it's like they're the galactic empire, right? So what are other galaxies elsewhere doing while the Empire is doing this? Are they just
there's no other galaxies.
Yeah,
are there none?
Star Wars takes place in one galaxy.
In the extended
All right.
universe, there's shit going on in other galaxies, but like no one cares about
I'd be
it.
very intrigued to just imagine there's being like, oh, that's
Are you talking about the Yuzan Vong?
I don't know enough about it. I just remember seeing about this
Rendezvous
other-
at Sector 8.
I used to think that was Rendezvous.
Did you really?
Yeah. Which
yeah,
is
they have
dumb because my family is French, and then I took French classes and I was like, oh.
It's like chameleon.
Oh,
it's a
it's
word that you
rendezvous.
you never actually
Yeah.
say out
Like,
loud.
assume that the Star Wars galaxy is sort of like the Milky Way. Like the
Yeah.
Empire and most of the main planets that they rule are like in the center of the Milky Way, and then you have the outer rim, which is like towards the edge. That's like Tatooine and like all like the
Which would,
backwater
like-
planets, and then you don't go further out than that.
I guess they can
Sure.
artificially decide, oh no, those twins. They
Yeah, they used only the same model for all of the NPCs except one. Excuse me.
No wonder he goes over. He's like, "Wow, you
Miguel.
look different." It's like, yeah, everyone else is exactly the same.
I
What
guess when you're
happened?
writing a
Nothing.
space-based
Hey,
thing, you can just arbitrarily decide this is the area where life exists, and everywhere else is just nothing, or it's
Oh,
too
you
far
got
away,
one.
or whatever.
Yeah, actually just the 3 choices I made mean that I'm incredibly likely to end up going on a date with her later.
Well, I
Oh.
literally was looking this way, so I didn't even see what the
Maybe
choices
you
were.
should play Thousand Arms.
No.
You can go on a date with Barrett though.
You can, but you
can.
have to be a huge
You
dick
have to be
everyone
just
else.
a monster, yeah.
Yeah.
But I think this is probably a good place.
Wait.
That was actually like exactly
You can go
what I
on
was
a-
hoping that we could do for the thing.
But-
Get through the reactor.
But
You
we're
can
just
go on a
getting to
date
know
with Raspberry?
Sephiroth. And Raspberry.
You
We
can-
need to see their budding
well,
bromance.
we're gonna
can go
turn
on
the
a
lights
date?
Sephiroth
Oh.
on the PlayStation Classic, and we'll see if we can come back and have some fun with something next time.
Next time.
You know what? It's been 10 years. Fuck it. Let's play Final Fantasy.